Willie C. got right.
Ooh. Love the Panthers this weekend. Dallas on the road again. Panthers 2-0 at home. This is a Rico Dowdle revenge game.
Wow.
Look at him last week. 23 carries, over 200 yards, 169 after contact. Like he said in response to Coach Shoddy, get your seatbelt, buckle up. I love the Panthers.
The question is being raised, is that the same shirt?
Yes. I have a couple that I got a little Rolodex of 2, maybe 3, but this is the same shirt from last week.
You only own 2 or 3 shirts.
Well, there's just a couple go-tos you want to have. You don't want to think about it too much when you walk in the closet.
I understand that.
Hey, is this shirt washed? Let's go.
Funny.
All right, let's play a game. Let's play a game of who you got, because we know that we get these picks right regularly. Dan, let's go Green Bay, Arizona. Who you got?
I'm going to take the Packers. That being said, this is not a Super Bowl contending football team until their offensive line plays better in their gun-run game. I like a lot of the things that they do offensively. This has been a strength of their football team, but you watch these clips, and consistently they're getting met or pushed back at the line of scrimmage. The second part is this. I love Jordan Love. We can't have some of their outrageous interceptions. The one he threw this past weekend is completely unacceptable. So he's got to clean that up, and their offensive line's got to play better.
Luan, let's go to London. Rams, Jaguars. Who you got?
In this game, I'm going to have to take the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Really?
That offensive line up until last week only gave up 6 sacks. They ended up giving up 7 against the Seattle Seahawks. This is a big game for Walker and Cleveland, the left tackle and left guard, for them to get right the ship and get it right. Trevor Lawrence is playing very well. You saw it a couple weeks ago against the Kansas City Chiefs, fumbling around, taking his team down for a game-winning drive. And so I think they've been to London 14 times. The second most has been, I think, 9.
Yeah.
They know how to operate, and I see them getting done here.
All right, and finally, Will, how about Commanders, Cowboys? Who you like?
I like the Commanders. I got to stick with the Commanders here. They do have some question marks after the Chicago game, the way that Chicago was having success running the football. Washington came into that game, one of the better run defense. They were playing a lot better, especially when you look at last year. But Chicago was able to expose them a little bit in that area. I know CeeDee Lamb's coming back for the Cowboys, but they still have to fix that defense. It's still broken like the McDonald's ice cream machine. So I like the Commanders here.
Let's stop down on that game for a minute here. Cowboys, Commanders, a big game, a very important game, with both of them coming off losses last weekend in games that you figured they probably would win. So if I were to say to you to crystallize it down to one thing, what does this game come down to?
Washington's defense, and they're not a playoff team unless that defense gets better. This has been a bad defense so far this year. Right now, this defense gives up 13 yards per completion. In the NFL, that's an astronomical number. And unless they get better or make a move at the trade deadline, this is a defense run-wise that's been okay. They've got matchup problems on their back end. Dorrance Armstrong's really been the guy that could get after the passer. He's got a hamstring injury. This game's not about the Cowboys defense. We talked about them enough this year. This game's about Washington defense. They have to get better, or that defense will keep them out of the playoffs.
Well, as for the Cowboys, the comparisons I'm getting here all week are to Burrow's Bengals of a year ago. Offense so good, but defense so bad, it keeps them out of the playoffs. If they get CeeDee Lamb back this week, and it looks like they're going to, what is this offense going to be?
I think this offense is able to score enough points to outscore the worst defense in the league, which is the Cowboys defense. Because it gives them George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, especially when you look at the Washington Commanders. Last week against the Bears, they gave up so many perimeter runs to Swift, like 10-plus yard runs. And down the field, to Dan's point of 13 yards per reception, you have 2 number 1 receivers. By CeeDee being out, George Pickens has kind of stepped in, and he's kind of like gotten used to this offense. He's gotten comfortable with Dak Prescott, and now you're going to add CeeDee Lamb back into the lineup. You can't cover them one-on-one. You can't double one and leave the other one exposed, and it's going to be tough for the Commanders' defense.
I think it's interesting getting CeeDee Lamb back, because George Pickens has done such a good job since CeeDee Lamb's been off the field. What happens when he has to now have the ball can only go to one guy at one time?
Well, what does happen?
Yeah,
Like,
because
what-
a couple weeks ago, we sat here, we're like, someone's got to get in George Pickens' ear and tell him, hey, if you ball out this year, you're going to get $25, $30 million a year.
Right.
He's been doing that since then, but CeeDee Lamb's been...
They're going to have to make a decision of somebody to take away.
Right.
They're still going to see
And
one-on-one.
just understand how-
And Dak Prescott is playing in a way where the number 1 receiver is the guy who's open.
And him just know how he's still just as important as everybody else, even if he's not getting the ball.
But this is the biggest question. Like, if you want to know what George Pickens is going to be, whether he's going to get the contract, be the number 1 guy, it will be when CeeDee Lamb gets back into this lineup.
But
Are you only a Batman guy, or can you be a Robin as well? Not that he's going to be a Robin, but his ability to still be productive like we've seen him without CeeDee Lamb is kind of what we're looking at.
So you don't think he's answered the question of being a number one receiver?
Absolutely. I don't think that was a question. I think everyone understood he has the talent to be a number one receiver. Pittsburgh understood it. Dallas Cowboys understood it. But with CeeDee back into the line,
Number one guys with Dallas and how bad their defense is, I actually don't think it will because they have to score so much that they're going to throw the ball 40 to 45 times a game. I would actually argue, as outrageous as it sounds, the Cowboys should not kick field goals once you pass the 50-yard line unless it's like 4th and 6 plus. If I was Dallas, my defense is as bad as it is. 4th and 6, 4th and 5 or less, I'm going for it all the time. Because those two receivers, I'm going to steal possessions in that way. I don't think this becomes an issue.
I was going to bring that up exactly. The good news for if you're George Pickens is we have to score 40 in every game, right? And if a
T.
team,
Higgins, Jamar Chase.
there'll be that many opportunities for them out there. That's my question. I'm looking up here. So Compton, you've got the Commanders in this game, and you said it originally at the beginning also. So you're not buying into it. I have been trying to make the case this week that the Cowboys defense has to get a little better. No defense is this bad. You can't be this ridiculously bad all year long. I think the Cowboys, they're this bad.
They're bad.
They're going to stay
He was
this
saying
bad.
you need them to score more than the worst defense in the league, which is the Cowboys. The only flaw with that is, like, the Cowboys are averaging 30 on offense. They give up 31 per game defensively.
Right.
So it's kind of, I love the take. Go for it, no matter what.
Go for it. Once you cross the 50-yard
Yeah.
line, you know once you give the ball back to the other team, they're getting points. So why not keep it with your quarterback and 2-star receivers and go for it on 4th down? Adopt like Dan Campbell's mindset. Once you go past the 50, we're going for it.
We'll see. With the Eagles looking like they've opened the door a little bit in the NFC East, we'll see if one of these two teams
Could I ask
can
one
walk
question?
through it.
Because
Go.
Taylor was bringing this question up last night on the plane. He was saying, hey, winner of this game takes the East.
That is what that's what I'm saying. The Eagles have opened the door a little bit.
What he said.
I think we all thought it was the Commanders.
But also,
Hey, real quick.
dang it,
I know
Will.
no one said this yet.
hey,
Does the winner of this game take the East?
I was just asking that question. Let me just throw one more thing before we get Jess back in here. Let's do it side by side. Who wore it best? Was it did Will Compton wear this shirt better last week or this week? So 1 week you go with it open
you see I
and the
got the
t-shirt.
cut. Hey, you see I got the fade going on right
Who
now.
cut your hair? What's the name?
No,
Alan-
they shaved it for the
Supercut.
thing,
Alan from
remember?
Culture Cuts.
You remember that?
Super
Hey,
cuts.
from Culture Cuts.
He shaved it because of the
This is my
Nebraska-Michigan game.
Ain't no
Okay.
culture
He'd
cut
lace
there.
you up. You come to
For the
Nashville.
record, I like casual Will. I like last week's Will better than this week's